Hello students, in our rotational motion, that means unit number 5, now we are going to understand in detail the new concept, that is torque. Okay, torque is a angular force. Okay, or we can call it also by the name moment of force. So there are three names for this torque quantity: torque, moment of force or angular force. Idea is this, that whenever we were taking the linear motion, suppose any object was required to move linearly, then one force was required to move it linearly, that we were calling linear force. Okay, and this we were calling linear force. And now suppose we don't want to move the body in the linear manner, we want to rotate a body. Okay, we want a rotational motion. So for the rotational motion, in case of rotational motion, whatever force is required, that we will call now by the name torque. And let us discuss the symbol for torque. So like for the linear force, we use the symbol F. In the same manner, for the rotational motion, the force which is required, that we call the torque, its symbol is a Greek symbol tau. How to make it? See again. You have to make a C and over it you have to make a line. So this symbol, it is actually read by the symbol tau, and we are using this symbol for our quantity torque. So we will read it now torque only. Okay. So the symbol for the quantity torque is this symbol. Now let us understand what is the meaning of this torque. So as you can see here, one diagram is drawn. It is a door. Okay, this is a door. Now you know already that one side of the door is already fixed. Okay, we can call it a hinge. Okay, and one end of the door is free to move. So what happens when we have to open the door? You can see this diagram also. Suppose in a room, one door is fixed between these 2 points. Now when we apply the force at the free end, here we apply some force. So what happens if we apply the force, then one end of the door is already fixed. So what will happen if we apply the force? The door will only rotate. Okay, and it will open. So that means the idea is that here the free end B, actually it is rotating. You can see its motion is along the circle. So that means it is rotating. So here the angular displacement is theta. So that means one end, whenever one end of the object is fixed and one end is free, then on applying the force, this object cannot linearly move here and there. This object will not, ये object AB यहाँ से उठ के आगे नहीं चला जाएगा. Okay, this object will not move linearly. So what will happen? Because one end is fixed already, it cannot move. So only free end will move. So because the free end can move, so finally one end connected, one end free. So finally the motion will be the circle, that you can assume, you can see in this diagram also. So here what has happened? Which motion has taken place? The motion which has taken place, that is rotational motion. Okay. Now what are the quantities which are required to move the body angularly or to provide the rotational motion? So as you can see, one is the force required. So the factors which are required, that is the force. Firstly, the force is needed, and secondly, does it matter that where we apply the force? So you can see, if on this door, if we apply the force directly here at A point, okay, we are just trying to move the door by applying the force at its fixed end. Will the door be in rotational motion? No. Now we change the position of the force. Suppose now we apply the force here, or we apply the force here. So this is position 1 and this is position 2. That means 2 position is here, 1 position is here. So now you see, if the force is applied at midpoint of the door, or if the force is applied at the end, free end of the door, where it will be easy to move the door or to rotate the door. So obviously it is easy when we are applying the force at the free end. So from this fixed end, this distance where we are applying the force, that also matters. This distance we can call r. Okay, so the distance from axis of rotation also matters. Okay, that also plays an important role in applying the turning effect. So here two things are important. If we have to provide a rotational motion to any object, so first of all we have to apply a linear force F, and secondly we have to apply the linear force F at the maximum distance from the fixed end. So this maximum distance from the fixed end or distance from this axis of rotation, that also matters. So these two factors will finally apply the turning effect on this door. So finally the torque is prepared by these two things. So let us now conclude. The turning effect of the force is called the torque, and it depends upon the magnitude of linear force which we apply and the distance from the axis of rotation. Okay, so it depends upon two quantities. Torque depends upon force F and distance from the axis of rotation r. So you must have got an idea that whenever we have to apply a rotational motion to any body, then we need to apply a linear force F at the maximum distance from the hinge. In that case, the door will easily rotate. That means finally, because rotation has come, that means that force has converted into torque. Okay, so turning effect of the force is called the torque. So now we need to make a formula for this torque in the next sheet. So note down all this detail. The proper definition of the torque is that torque is multiple of two quantities, force into the perpendicular distance from axis of rotation. As you have seen in the door case, that if this is the hinge where the door is fixed, then we need to apply a linear force to move the door rotationally, and we need to apply it at the maximum distance from the hinge. You know that the question comes that why the handles of the door are attached at the maximum distance from the hinge, because this r distance also matters. Okay, so the torque formula is combined by the two quantities, force and that perpendicular distance. Now actually we are already dealing with these quantities in scalar and vector formation. So we need to now learn the actual vector formula for this torque quantity. So if we write the vector notation or vector formula of the torque, then it is given this way. Torque is r cross F. Okay, so r is that perpendicular distance from axis of rotation. Now we know that this distance is vector, and the linear force which we apply, that is also a vector. So the two vectors are multiplied by cross product. Then the resultant quantity torque appears. Okay, so torque quantity is also a vector quantity because it is also a kind of force. So the idea is, since R and F product has to make torque and torque is vector, that's why there should be cross product between the two input vectors. So this is a cross product. So torque formula is R cross F. And if we want to write the unit, SI unit of the torque, so since it is product of distance into force, force is Newton and distance is meter. So Newton meter is the SI unit of torque. Okay, now we have to understand further detail about this torque. Note down all this. Now let us understand further detail about the torque. So first of all, we will be drawing a diagram. So suppose in this coordinate system, in this x, y, z system, this is the fixed axis or axis of rotation, and this is that object. So r distance is this distance, or we can call it in vector notation that this is r vector. Okay, so this is a vector, so we will write it in form of arrow. Now suppose a force is applied at any angle. At this free end, the force is applied at some angle. So suppose this is the force direction. Okay, we have to understand now the general case. Maybe that the force is not applied perpendicularly, maybe that the force is applied at some angle. So that only we are going to understand here. So if this is r distance, r vector, and this is the linear force F direction. So we need to show the angle between both of them. So what we will do, we will extend it. This r line we will extend. So between this r vector and the F vector, if the angle is theta, okay, between r and F, if the angle is theta, so if we open this formula of r cross F, so as we know this is vector product, so vector product A cross B means AB sin theta. So that's why it will become RF sin theta. Okay, RF sin theta. Now what we can do, we can club together sin theta with F only. So R is separated and F sin theta is written together. Now it is suggesting us that F sin theta may be one of the component of F. Okay, we know that F component can be F cos theta and F sin theta. So let us try to make here two components of F. So you see now, हमको F के components बनाने हैं. तो दो perpendicular directions चाहिएंगी. ठीक है? F के components बनाने हैं तो two perpendicular directions चाहिए. ओके, अब ये थीटा वाली लाइन है तो इसमें आ जाएगा F cos थीटा कंपोनेंट और इसमें आ जाएगा F sin थीटा कंपोनेंट. ओके, अब इनको नेम कैसे दें? F cos थीटा कंपोनेंट कहाँ है? रेडियस R के अलोंग. सो इसको हम बोलते हैं रेडियल कंपोनेंट FR. ओके, R इज इन सफिक्स ओनली. FR दैट मीन्स रेडियल कंपोनेंट, क्योंकि ये रेडियस R के अलोंग है. और जो R के परपेंडिकुलर है या ट्रांसवर्स है उसे हम बोलते हैं FT कंपोनेंट. तो F sin थीटा कंपोनेंट का नेम क्या हुआ? FT. So finally you can see here R is outside and F sin theta, it is which component? F sin theta is FT component. FT component means transverse component. So I am now F sin theta I am replacing with FT. That means you can see now if F is at some angle with respect to R, then which of the force component contributes into the torque? So you can see in the torque formula other than R only FT is coming. FT means transverse component is coming. So that's why we can lastly write down that only transverse component of force contributes to torque. Or in other manner also the question can be asked that prove that the radial component of force does not contribute to torque. Okay, so prove that radial component of force does not contribute to torque. So in both the manner the question can be asked. So the proof is this much. So I think you must have understood what we have done here. First of all, we have shown R position. This R, this is the fixed end and this is the free end. At the free end we are applying the force to move this body rotationally. Now this force is at some angle, so we need to extend this R line. So suppose theta is the angle between R and F. So if we open R cross F, it will become RF sin theta. F sin theta is clubbed together. So we need to show where is F sin theta. So F cos theta component is this, F sin theta component is this. So we will name it like this. This is radial component because along R, and this is perpendicular to R. So we can call it transverse component. So thus only transverse component contributes to the torque formula. Okay, so this is the calculation about the transverse component of force. Now we can discuss when the torque can be maximum and minimum in the next sheet. Note down. So let us discuss the maximum. What can be the conditions for maximum torque? So since the torque formula is RF sin theta, so theta will decide that when the torque will be maximum. So torque, if we want to make it maximum, so sin theta also should be maximum. And what is the maximum value of sin theta? That is 1. Okay, that means theta should be 90 degree. So when R and F are both at 90 degree with respect to each other, that means perpendicular to each other, then the torque is maximum. Okay, so maximum torque condition is this. Now in the same, and second, when the torque can be 0. So to make torque 0, sin theta should also be 0, and you should know now sin theta when it becomes 0, at what thetas. So when theta is 0 or 180 degree, in all that cases the sin theta is 0 or torque is 0. Now let us come to some numericals to understand this concept. See this question. If a force of 3I plus 2J plus 5K, that means vector force is given. It is acting at perpendicular distance 2I minus 3J plus 5K from the axis of rotation. Find torque. So we know that torque formula is R cross F. That means the vector product. So how we do the vector product, that only we have to do here. This is our R and this is the F. So for vector product, as we know that we make a matrix. So firstly R should come according to the sequence. So R is 2I minus 3J plus 5K. So write the coefficients here, 2 minus 3, 5. Then write F coefficients. So 3, 2, 5. After that we have to do the solution of this matrix. That means the vector product. So how we do? We put I, we put minus J and we put K outside the brackets. So to solve this bracket of I, we need to hide the row and column in which I is appearing. So we'll hide this way. Now what is left? That we have to do cross multiplication. So minus 3 5s are minus 15. Then minus sign comes. After that 2 5s are 10. This we have already learned that how to solve the vector product. After that we have to put always minus sign with the J. So we have to hide the row and column in which J is appearing. This is J. So we'll hide like this. So 2 5s are 10 minus 3 5s are 15. Okay. After that K. So for K term, again hide the row and column in which K is appearing. So 2 2s are 4 minus 9. Okay. This way we solve. So finally we have minus 25I. Then from here minus 5 will come. It will become plus 5. Plus 5J. And here 9 plus 4 is 13. So 13K. So you can see that the answer of torque has come. Minus 25I plus 5J plus 13K. Suppose the question is not asked find torque. Suppose the question is asked find the x component of torque. Okay, suppose this is the question. Find the x component of torque. Then what? You can see. This torque is actually, whatever answer has come, that is actually torque xi plus torque yj plus torque zk. Like we write, no? Force as what? fxi plus fyj plus fzk. Okay, any vector we write always in this format. So in the same manner, because the torque is also a vector. So if torque is a vector, we should always write torque as torque xi plus torque yj plus torque zk. So if we compare, we want only the x component of torque, that means torque x. So torque x is the one which is with I. So with I, what is there? Minus 25. So if only x component of torque is asked, then I'll write it here. If only x component of torque is asked, then what is with I? Minus 25, that is torque x. If y component of torque is asked, it is 5. If z component of torque is asked, it is 13. So this way we do the question.